Xavier Justo, who was sentenced to 3 years imprisonment for attempting to blackmail his former employer, Petrosaudi International Ltd, has received a royal pardon and will only have to serve 1 more year in jail. Justo's pardon was in conjunction with Kim Bumibond Adunyet's 70 years on the throne and the Queen's birthday. On August 17th last year, Justo had been found guilty after admitting to blackmail Petrosaudi, which had dealings with 1MDB. With this pardon, Justo, who has been described as a very good prisoner by the Thai Prison Authority, will have his sentence commuted by a third. The 49-year-old IT executive would most likely serve the remainder of his term on parole or be transferred to another prison, depending on the terms of the pardon. Singapore's DBS Bank says that it is tightening its checks and controls after it was implicated in the ongoing case surrounding beleaguered 1MDB. DBS was of course one of the banks named by the Monetary Authority of Singapore, or MAS, as having had failings in its controls and weaknesses in the process for accepting clients and monitoring transactions when it came to 1MDB. According to the DBS Group Chief Piyush Gupta, the bank had done a lot of due diligence when it accepted the client 3 years ago. He was quoted in the Singapore Straits Times as saying that in hindsight, the accounts were most likely part of a complex web, and then opined that DBS could have done better in figuring the whole mess out. He adds that DBS has already tightened up a lot compared to 2013 due to MAS's ongoing revamps of its standards. Other banks currently facing scrutiny include Standard Chartered, Switzerland's Falcon Private Bank and Coutts International. Petronas Chemical Group Berhad saw net profit for its second quarter of FY 2016 drop by 17.1% due to a 241 million asset write-off after the cancellation of an elastomers project. Net profit came in at 462 million compared to 557 million the year before, while revenue dropped 3% to 3.2 billion from 3.3 billion last year. However, stripping out the write-off, profit after tax would have come in 21% higher. According to PETCM, the reason for the drop in top line was due to lower average product prices, which actually offset the positive impact of higher sales and stronger USD. PETCM says its prospects will be influenced by petrochemical product prices and production facilities utilization rate. Despite the lower numbers, PETCM still declared an interim dividend of 7 cents. Taliworks Corp Berhad saw an 8-fold lead for its second quarter net profit due to a one-off 65.8 million gain from the disposal of its China waste management division. Net profit came in at 76.2 million ringgit compared to just 9.5 million for last year, while revenue grew by 4.8% to 76.8 million from last year's 73.3 million. Taliworks also declared a second interim dividend of 2 cents per share, amounting to approximately 24.2 million. Its ED Datuk Ronnie Lim says that it is reassuring to see that Taliworks' recent disposal of its China business to be positive on both its gearing and financials. It also allowed Taliworks to streamline its business and get rid of any additional expenses as a result of its China ops. As for its future, Taliworks expects its main contributor, Sungai Selangor Water Treatment Works Phase 1 ops, to continue to run its production above its design capacity as Klang Valley's thirst for treated water continues to increase. Digital business platforms may not have a traditional physical presence, but may soon need to pay a very traditional physical tax. Second Finance Minister Datuk Johari Abdul Ghani said that some digital businesses generate billions in revenue, yet they don't see the taxman due to the absence of a tax structure for these sorts of businesses. However, Johari was quick to reassure that it would be the big boys that will eventually need to pony up, but that the smaller businesses would be left alone. He says that taxing the small businesses would make it difficult for them to survive, and adds that it is not that the government is trying to discourage the major platform providers, but instead is attempting to level the playing field for all to do business on. Johari said the main targets are those like Uber, which in June had an implied valuation of $66 billion, and Airbnb, which was recently valued at $30 billion.